Welcome back to Ferocious Education. This is Ed. Today we are going to be talking about Castor Maritime. The ticker goes by CTRM. I'm going to be going through some of the most important news and a bit of the structure of this company, and then moving on towards technical analysis. So without further ado, let's jump right into this one. So CTRM. I did talk about this one before, so you'll find my previous video in the description below. Now, the next thing that I do want to take a look at here, and the first thing actually, is some of their latest news. So on the 25th of May, Castor Maritime announced the delivery of 3 different vessels: the MV Magic Nebula, the MT Wonder Vega, and the MV Magic Starlight. Now, in retrospect, this is also reflected on their SEC filing here. They said that they took on May 20th, 2021, Castor took the delivery of MV Magic Nebula, which is a 2010 Korean-built Kamsarmax dry bulk carrier that it agreed to acquire back on March 10th, 2021. Now, on May 21st, 2021, they also took the MT Wonder Vega, which is a 2005 Korean-built Aframax tanker that it agreed to acquire back on April 16th, 2021. The MT Wonder Vega has been entered in an unaffiliated tanker pool specializing in employment of Aframax tanker vessels. And on May 23rd, 2021, they took on or delivered the got the delivery of MV Magic Starlight, the 2015 Chinese-built Kamsarmax dry bulk carrier. It agreed to acquire that back on April 19th, 2021, and this vessel was delivered company with a time charter contract attached with a reputable charter at a daily gross charter rate of 114% of the Baltic Panamax index, and with an estimated remaining term of around 17 months to 21 months. Now, all 3 acquisitions were financed in their entirety with cash on hand. Now, this is something that is massive. Well, how do they come up with all that amount of money? Well, take a look into their news. You'll notice something repetitive. Offering on May 10th of around $18 million. And you go back, offering of $125 million on April 5th, 2021. You go a little bit further back and you start seeing this is more of a trend. You look into $15.3 million debt financing, $26 million offering in January. So you see almost over or closer to $200 million in offerings only in 2021. And you go back in a year, you see millions and millions of dollars being offered. Now, in this retrospect, the price over book becomes around 0.90, and the price over book for the SP 500 is around 453. Now, the big thing is that these acquisitions continue ramping up. So the fundamentals when you're looking into price over sales will be really trash because it's 12 months trailing. So it's a little bit harder to say, well, are their price over sales going to improve in the future? You assume that they will, because now they have more vessels. Thanks to really massive move in the price of the stock previously, where they're able to sell a lot of shares at the most minimal damage that they can. And so they did do that, and it made a massive effect in their balance sheet. Now, the next thing I do want to cover is the news relating towards the reverse split. The reverse split will be effective on May 28th, 2021, which happens to be a Friday. Now here, your reverse split will happen as 1-to-10 reverse split. Now, the company shareholder approved already 1-to-2 or not more than 1 for 75, and they landed on 1-to-10. And what that means is that if you're holding currently 10 shares, that will be consolidated for 1. Now, from my understanding, there's not going to be part shares, so they're going to give you more value of the market value if it doesn't kind of even out. But in general, for every 10 shares, you'll get 1 new share that will be 10 times the value of the previous time. So it literally doesn't affect almost your total end value, but really just the amount of shares. So reverse splits are simple, they always happen the same, etc. Now, this is just to meet the $1 requirement for the NASDAQ listing. As we did talk about this one, it did have a compliance issue from a while ago. Now, institutional buyers in general have been a bit more bearish than bullish, because we get to see bigger names, for instance, like Citadel Advisors, Royal Bank of Canada, liquidating their positions. However, if you go back earlier on in May, Morgan Stanley increased their position by around 174%. While others like Bank of America added a couple of shares here and there, etc. Bank of Montreal adding, so it's a little bit mixed. It really depends on what you're looking at. But it looks like based on the recent news with the reverse split, some institutions felt comfortable, pulling back. Now, if you would like to see more contents like this, make sure to click that subscribe button down in the bottom right corner, click subscribe and turn on your bell notification button. And also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like down below. And if you would like to join our Discord, you can click show more and the link is literally right on there. Now let's move on now towards technical analysis. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint of view, and keep in mind a lot of these will start looking a bit bearish just because of the reverse split news, it's never really a comforting thing that the company has to do a reverse split. It's almost a bearish sentiment maker. So keep that in mind. However, you get to see that the price point currently is below the 200 SMA, which is at 0.41 cents. So coming on tomorrow, that will be 410. And currently the 10 SMA is above the 30 EMA, which is bullish, and the 50 SMA is above the 200 SMA. Yet the price point is below all averages, which is again bearish. Now the current 80X doesn't show you much, but the willing percent R shows that it's heavily oversold, and momentum is almost at zero. Momentum as well shows you kind of a perspective that it's more trading sideways, and the MACD also supports that, as you get to see almost more of a zero histogram. Currently it's 0.002. Now, stochastic fast and stochastic slow, both are showing you that it's currently might be an interesting time to buy if you're thinking about doing so. Now, this is just a technical analysis thing because it was kind of one of the lowest supports it's ever been hitting by since early on in the year. And if you were to look into the moving averages in general, you're seeing a current moving average resistance, or the Bollinger Bands, is around 50 cents, and the bottom is 34. Now that translates to $5 tomorrow and $3.40 at the bottom. Now the current chart itself, what we see is a significant resistance level at the 0.54 on the Fibonacci retracements, 0.81, 103, 125, 156, and 195. If you're watching this one after reverse split, just times this by 10. And on the support, 11 cents. Now, on the Fibonacci retracements, we saw kind of important parts, but we need to look at a price line action. The current strong support is sitting at 35 cents. Below there, 28, and below there, 17. Significant resistance is currently sitting, you're looking into 39 cents, above there, 48 cents, above there, 59 cents, 73 cents, going to 90 cents, and then 106, followed by 132, 141, and 158. Now comes to the question to Ed. What do you think about this one? Well, CTRM has been, when I've talked about this in a while before, I think that in general, the price points and the price targets, they generally are more of a sinking company, and you get to see it's more dropping. No pun intended with the sinking. But they've done one thing more of almost in an intelligent way. And they saw that, you're able to put in a lot of offerings and make use of this massive push to $2 and keep on printing money. And with that amount of money, go in and buy vessels, because banks gives you bad rates on vessels. It's insane. Vessels depreciate. From there on, you're able to buy a massive fleet, and hopefully sales will come. So in the future, this might actually be an interesting pick. And I see this one would be double in price within the next 5 years, or altogether go bankrupt. Well, that's just an extreme, but that's where I think it's going to go. You're probably going to be able to see in the next 5 years a good return on investments with the amount of money they've raised and with the direction they're going. This is definitely, COVID has been a blessing for them when it came towards raising more money because of the market mania. And so definitely it is an interesting pick for the future. The price over book is good. Price over sales will probably catch up, and that is the bet you would be making. But generally, it is in the hands of the management, and I think I'm more bullish than bearish on this one on the longer term. Shorter term, I think it might dip just for quite a bit, like a couple of weeks or so. What do you think about the sticker? Make sure to mention down in the comments below. Share, subscribe, and like, and have a wonderful day. Now, if you made it this far into the video, I do recommend that you go ahead and join our Discord server. There's a lot of amazing folks in here. We do a lot of discussions here into the trading floor throughout the day. A lot of people are in there, and we do ask questions. You can ask me any question you would like on there. We do post research and DDs, and we hold weekly chat sessions. And we also do have a lounge in there. So make sure to actually join that and join the fun there. Have a wonderful day and a good one.